Alrighty, stucco repair. If you have a stucco house and it hasn't been painted regularly, you might find that you have areas like this, where the stucco is peeling. Or worse yet, straight falling off with chunks of wire hanging out and all that kind of stuff, beat up corners, etc. So, what do you do in that situation? A lot of people go out and they get the synthetic stucco patches, which come in a tub pre-mixed, and they try to patch them themselves. And it doesn't work out so well. It always ends up looking like a big, kind of rough area that's all chunky and nasty and just doesn't really blend well. So here's how to do it. It's much easier. It takes a little practice, but it's really not that hard. Here we go. So what I'm using is just good old-fashioned Quikrete stucco patch. Like $8 for an 80-pound bag, goes a really long way. This stuff is fiberglass reinforced, so it kind of matches what most stucco buildings use. Another thing I use, a little bit of acrylic fortifier. This liquid glue looking stuff works great for giving it a little extra strength and helping it stick. I put some of that on the bare areas of stucco prior to this. I put it on yesterday, it's already dry. That just kind of soaks in, gives it an extra layer of protection and helps it stick to it as well. You can use a bucket, you can use a tub, you can use a wheelbarrow, you can use an old drywall pan, whatever you got, depending on the size of the job, as a place to mix up stucco material. Since this section I'm doing is pretty small, I'm going to use a drywall pan. Just throw out a little bit. I got a bucket with water and a sponge. Important tool for this. Now you want your stucco to be mixed pretty thin. You want it not super watery, but wet enough that it can stick to surfaces without falling off. The other thing about stucco work is it's going to make a mess. So if you're doing it over pavers or any kind of surface you don't want to get a lot of stucco in, throw down some cardboard. Alright, so for areas like this, you can just take a little bit, kind of smear it about, just to kind of level out the uneven surface. And you can use a small trowel like this, or you can use a larger flat trowel, which doesn't fit in this pan, but that can give you better coverage if you have a larger tub or something like that that you're using. Heck, you can even use your hand. I'll do that sometimes if you want to spot repair and work it right in, just to fill in holes. But definitely get yourself some like mechanics type gloves, something that doesn't tear up too easily. So once you have a decent covering over the areas in question, I come back with the wet sponge and just kind of smooth it. Just kind of work it out, spread it out away from what you're filling in. Just kind of levels it out. That corner could use a little bit. Fill that in. Anyway, just work it out. You're basically trying to flatten it so that it doesn't look like you just patched an area. You want it to blend in with the surrounding area. It's kind of like doing a drywall patch. You're fanning it out, give it the appearance of being flat. And then to kind of mimic a scratch coat or brown coat, as they call it, just kind of give it a wipe over so that it's not super smooth, because if you apply it with a trowel and it's really smooth, it won't, the texture coat won't stick. So that's basically it for how to get that done. That won't take very long to dry. If you're in a dry region, it'll probably be dry in a couple hours. I did this section over here probably an hour ago, and the thickest area in it, where I had to patch some cracks and some holes, is still drying, but it's drying pretty fast. And it's set up enough now that we can go ahead and hit it with some texture coat. So let me show you how to do that. Stuff. Okay, so when you're looking at your drywall, or your drywall, your stucco, kind of look at how they applied it. There's actually an area here where it peeled and they never went back and textured it, they just painted it again. So while we're here, we'll go ahead and hit that spot. And basically, you just kind of do a messy job because that's all they do. Just kind of fill it in, skip it a little bit, almost let it just follow the natural bouncing pattern of the rough surface. Is the logistics of it. I'm going to mix up a bigger tub with probably a wheelbarrow or something, use my bigger trowel to cover these bigger areas because I got to do a bunch down the side of this house. But just wanted to showcase the basics of it. If this helped you out, please like and subscribe.